I've been loving my natural nails lately, so it's been a hot minute since I've done full coverage tips, but as soon as I saw that ManiBoss was about to release tips, I knew I had to try them and I was super excited because I always love trying new tips. So if you want to see my first impressions on these tips, stick around and we'll get into it. I'm not sure whether this video will be uploaded by the time these tips go live, so just in case, I'd say just keep an eye out on the ManiBoss Instagram page or maybe even their Facebook group. And once they go live, I'll also post something over here on YouTube on my community tab in case you are interested in these and want to pick some up to try. But I'm super excited. So she's got 3 different sizes as well as 3 different shapes. So the sizes she has are extra small, small, and medium. And then the shapes she has are coffin, square, and almond. So I'm trying out 2 different kinds. So I've got the short square and then I've got the medium almond. So in today's video, I'm going to be trying out the medium almond, but I'm super excited to try these short squares as well. So I'm kind of showing you here what the short squares look like on my natural nails. I'm doing it on my left hand, which does have shorter nail beds than my right hand. So they look a little bit longer than they would on my right hand. When you're working with full coverage tips, you do need something to adhere the tips to your nails. So also releasing will be this new 6-in-1 gel glue. It's a HEMA-free formula. It's a thicker consistency than like a normal base gel. I'd probably equate it similar to like a builder gel consistency. And there's also this really adorable flash cure lamp that we're releasing as well. When you're applying full coverage tips, it makes it so much easier to have a little flash cure lamp rather than trying to stick both hands in your lamp as you're holding your tip down. So these make it so much easier. And you can see here at the bottom, there is a power button. It's a 60-second lamp, and as well as it's not rechargeable, so you do have to have it plugged into a USB outlet. Before I get into application, I just want to talk to you a little bit more about these tips and some of the details, as well as do a comparison of my current favorite brand. So you probably already know that my favorite tips right now are the iGel Beauty full coverage tips. So I just want to show you a little bit comparison on like size and quality. There are 12 total sizes in the box, with the largest being the 0, which I'm showing you here, and the smallest being down to the size 11. So I just want to show you what a 0 looks like on me. I mean, you're not going to get a true fit because I do have an overlay of a rubber base gel on my thumb, but it is quite large, and I actually ended up wearing a size 2 on my left hand. These are soft gel tips, so they're very thin and flexible, but I wouldn't say that they're too thin that they're flimsy. I think they still have good strength to them. And I always like to do a test of how they bounce back if you fold them in half. So you see, if I fold it in half, you get that white line. So when I unfold it, I want to see if that white line disappears, if it kind of recovers, which it does. So that's really great news. I love to see that in tips. That means that they do have, they're sturdier, that they do have good strength to them. I'm not going to go too in depth, but I will show you a quick comparison of my favorite iGel Beauty medium almonds against the ManiBoss almonds. Now, a big difference is iGel Beauty only has 10 sizes in their box, so it goes from 0 to 9, where ManiBoss goes from 0 to 11. So these are both the size 0s. iGel Beauty is on the top, ManiBoss is on the bottom. So you can sort of see that the ManiBoss is just a little bit bigger. So if you have wider thumbs, ManiBoss might be better for you because it is a little bit wider than the iGel Beauty. And then as far as thickness, I would say that the ManiBoss look a little bit thinner in thickness than the iGel Beauty tips. So I'd say, lengthwise, they seem about the same, just a little bit difference in the width where ManiBoss is a little bit wider. And then one of my biggest things about the iGel Beauty is the smallest size is a size 9, which is too large for my pinky, which has always been a complaint because I have to file it down. So you can see the difference here between the iGel Beauty 9 and the ManiBoss size 11. So the size 11 were just perfect for my pinky, which you'll see when I start applying the tips. So that's what I like about the ManiBoss tips, is that I can wear the smallest size without having to do any shaping or filing. And then you can sort of see too that the ManiBoss are pre-etched tips, where the iGel Beauty tips are not pre-etched. I'm going to go ahead and start doing my sizing for my tips for my left hand. So when you're sizing out your full coverage tips, you want to make sure that you get the best fit for your nail. So you want to make sure that they fit your nail from sidewall to sidewall. If it's too small, your nails could pop off. So you want to make sure it's fully covering your nail. So you see me turning my hand from side to side, making sure that my entire nail is fully covered. If it's a little bit larger, that's okay. You can file down, but you don't want a nail tip that's smaller than your nail bed.
Here we go.
These tips do come pre-etched, but usually for me, I find that etching isn't enough. You may have success with it, but I find for me, I like to do a little more etching. So I'm just taking my efile, and then I've got the small mandrel bit from Kiara Sky, and I'm just gonna etch the inside of the tips just a little bit more. I mean, it kind of defeats the purpose of a pre-etch, but at the same time, it's less etching I have to do, so I still like the fact that they come pre-etched. I don't etch the entire inside of the tip, I just etch the portion that's going to touch my natural nail. So anywhere where the tip is going to touch my natural nail, I want to make sure that's etched, and that helps with the best adhesion for your tip adhering to your natural nail.
Invincible.
I went ahead and prepped my nails off camera, but the one thing I didn't do is prior to applying your tips, you do need a layer of gel base on your nails. So I'm going to go ahead and use this 6-in-1 gel glue as my gel base. So I'm applying a thin, even layer of that to my nail. I'm curing for a full 30 seconds. And so now that it's cured, I'm going to get into tip application. I just want to make sure that it's the right size, that I don't have to do any shaping. And I'm happy to say the cuticles fit perfectly. I had to do no shaping. So I love how easy that was. So for the gel glue, I'm going to apply a thin layer to the entire tip that's going to touch my natural nail, and then I just kind of scrape that excess gel that's in there at the cuticle line of the tip so I could have something that's going to flow to fill in that apex. And then I'm going to start at my cuticle line and then slowly press my nail downwards so that gel is flowing downwards to fill that. You don't want to press too hard. And then here's where I made the mistake of, it was really hard to hold the tip and press the power button at the same time. So my tip moved around a little bit. I gave it a flash cure. And then when I take it out of the lamp, I realized that my nail is crooked, but it's already flash cured. And I was like, I cannot believe I did that. So I'm going to end up soaking it off once I finish my other nails, and then I'm going to reapply it because it was way too crooked for me to leave it as it was. So let me show you my middle finger again. So I want to start with a layer of gel base. So I'm using my 6-in-1 gel glue, and I'm going to apply a thin, even layer of that to my natural nail. I'm going to cure that for 30 seconds. And then once that's cured, I can go ahead with my tip application. So I'm going to apply that 6-in-1 gel glue to the inside of the tip where it's going to touch my natural nail. I'm just going to apply a thin, even layer of that. And then the excess gel, I'm going to scrape at the cuticle line that's on my brush to have that little pool at the cuticle line, and that will flow down and fill in the apex of the full coverage tip. So I start applying the tip at the cuticle area, and then I slowly press downwards to fill in the rest of my nail, and I realize I don't have enough gel. You don't want to press too hard and apply pressure because that could cause your tips to pop off. So I'm making sure that I'm going to take it off. I'm going to add in more of that gel to fill in that space. So now I learned I'm turning on my lamp first, and then I'm going to apply the tip. So starting at my cuticle line, slowly pressing downwards so the gel flows downwards towards my free edge, and once that's fully covered, I'll stick my finger in the lamp and give that a full flash cure. And that turned out a lot better. This one is straight.
Invincible.
Since my nails were only flash cured, I went ahead and gave them a full 60-second cure in my full lamp. And so now I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup. So I've got my efile once again, and I've got the small Chiaroscuro mandrel bit, the same thing I used to etch the inside of my tips. And I'm going to clean up around my cuticle area just in case there were any seepage. Now, I have to say, I don't know whether it's the gel or I'm just getting better. My guess is it's probably the gel, but I was so surprised at how little seepage I had. Like, my favorite way to adhere full coverage tips is to use my West Coast Dips Super Stick Gel, which is like a solid gel, but it's not completely solid, and it makes it so much easier because when I use glue gels like the ManiBoss, I usually have like too much product and then I get a little seepage, but I barely had any seepage to clean up. So I have to say, I am really happy with this 6-in-1 glue gel. I was a little nervous about it, but it worked out so well. What I forgot to do, because it's just been so long since I've applied full coverage tips, is while I had this mandrel bit out, I should have gone ahead and buffed off the shine of the tips because I like to apply a gel top coat to my tips, but I end up doing that after the fact before I apply my gel top coat. But it would have been easier and more time efficient if I would have just done it while I had this bit out and I was cleaning up my cuticle area and sidewalls. And I do have just a tiny bit of seepage past my free edge, which I'm going to dip over it, so it really would have been okay to leave it, but I wanted to clean that up a little bit. So I've got this bit from Vivid Glam Co. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a needle maybe cuticle bit. But anyway, so I'm just taking it on the underside of my tip and I'm just cleaning up that a little bit more on the rest of my nails. I buffed off the shine of my tips off camera, so now I'm going in with my 2-in-1 gel base and top coat from ManiBoss, and I'm going to give that a cure for 60 seconds. As always, I'm going to finish off my mani by rehydrating my cuticles with my Scales of Mermaid cuticle oil. I'm using the scent Slay Girl. I know Christmas is over, but I just love this scent so much. I feel like I could use it year round. So that pretty much concludes this video. So let me give you my final thoughts on these new ManiBoss soft gel tips. So I still don't know a release date yet, so keep an eye out for when these will be released. But I have to say, so far, I am really loving them. Obviously, at this point, I've only tried the medium almond. I'll try the short square next, but I think they're really great. They're thinner, but they're strong. They kind of bounce back if you bend them in half. They've got a little bit of an apex, but they're not too sculpted to where they have like a high C curve, because those can be really difficult to use. I think they're just really natural looking and they're very comfortable to wear. The 6-in-1 gel glue was super easy to use. The cute little flash cure lamp. Overall, I am super impressed. I can't really speak to longevity just yet because I only applied these recently, but I'll let you know how they wear as well. And I'm definitely eager to try the other shapes and sizes. So thank you so much to ManiBoss for sending these to me to try out. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, I'd appreciate it if you gave this video a thumbs up. It lets me know to continue creating content like this. And it also helps YouTube recommend me to others, which helps grow my channel. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I upload content every Monday and Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.